winds, and the winds will keep picking up. The landfill is closing today at 11. Landfill closing today at 11. HawkFanatic.com is brought to you by Patrick Eads and the staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. GT Car, his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive. Dirk Sterner Taxidermy. The Ox Yoke Inn and the Amanas. Streets Maintenance, Remodeling and Plumbing. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter, and from HawkFanatic.com, Pat Harty.
Well, good morning, boys.
Take it away.
Good morning.
Boys, Steve.
Eddie.
Birthday boy.
Today's your birthday?
Yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm eating
People
this.
were very, very nice.
A
lot of messages.
Mix.
Yeah.
I'm eating it. It's good.
Yeah.
Good and salty. I'm hungry.
Lots of salt. No, actually, there's a lot of butter.
No, it's really good.
Butter and salt are both good for you.
I got a big one.
Hey, that's nobody's business. Well, that's your birthday present.
Yeah.
Butter and salt and alcohol, I've been told recently, are all good for you.
Yeah. They get rid of cancer.
They do.
Well, they're good for your state of mind.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway.
In excess.
Did you watch anything this weekend?
I watched the playoff games. I watched most of the playoff games. I got a little bored with the National League, but I watched the Buffalo-Kansas City one.
We had gone to the gymnastics meet at Carver, and it was great.
And I did watch
Iowa.
I watched a little bit of Iowa wrestling, and they had a nice win over Ohio State. Ben Keeter had a nice win over his guy who I think was ranked 5th or 6th nationally. That was a big step for Ben. Nice, impressive win. Now they got a little momentum going into Gabe Arnold actually he basically guaranteed a win, which is probably not what you want to do going into Penn State, but hey.
Guaranteed a team win or a personal win?
I think he guaranteed more of a personal win, I think, from how it was, which I'm not sure who he's wrestling, but if he's somebody from Penn State,
he's going to be real good.
He's probably pretty good. But I will say I think they have a much better chance this year than they did last year.
Yeah,
the guys
it looks like it.
They've added, and we're going to have one of those guys tentatively. Stephen Buchanan, the number 2 197-pounder, is scheduled to be on, I believe, on Wednesday sometime between 9 and 9:30, I think. So, and he's one of the big. He and the Parco kid and the Ja'Cory Teamer. I mean, they brought in 3 big-time, highly ranked wrestlers that have made a difference. They're going to give them a chance against Penn State, at least a chance.
At least a chance, yep.
So there you go. Then you got Iowa basketball tonight at Ohio State. I don't feel real good about it, but feel much better about it, and feel much better about this game than if they were playing at Wisconsin or Purdue or even Michigan at this stage.
Ohio State's got a worse record than we do.
They do, and they're really inconsistent, but they are playing better. And that 3-game losing streak, some of those games I thought they should have won, but they didn't. But then they won at Purdue. They overcame a 16-point deficit at Purdue to win. Yeah. So you wonder whether a team like Ohio, is the light coming on? Bruce Thornton's one of the best point guards, I think, in the country. And Fran was raving about him yesterday on the Zoom, about it all starts with him. But they've got some versatility, so we'll see. This is they're 0-4 in Big Ten. They're not going to make the tournament, I don't think, if they don't win it. They got at least win at least 1 or 2 Big Ten road games.
They have to.
They have to. And this is one of the easier ones left. So
because our resume is poor.
I think this is going to be easier to win here than at Northwestern. As crazy as that may sound. I know Northwestern got pounded, but that was at Illinois. That's a big difference. When Iowa has to play at Illinois, that's not going to be easy. So no,
that's never easy.
This is a big game tonight for the men.
It is. And I've kind of been, the way I'm looking at it, I said we're either going to win or we're going to get boat raced. I don't think it's going to be a 2 or 3 point game.
Well, I mean,
who knows?
There's 3. Yeah, there's one of 3 scenarios that could happen. Yeah, I mean, it could be It could be an ass whipping either way or a close game either way. I guess there's 4 different things that could happen. So we'll see. I don't think Iowa goes there and wins big.
No, probably not.
I would be surprised if they do. Then Ohio State's got some serious reflection to do. So we'll see.
If they shoot like the women did against Washington, Iowa has a good chance.
Oh yeah, and Iowa
71%.
Iowa is capable of. This men's team is capable of coming out on a night and making 15 or 23s. That's always there with this team. So we'll see.
Well, I hope we see it tonight.
But both teams have to win in order to have any chance of staying on course to make the NCAA tournament. They have to.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa's not going to go 0-10 on the road and make the Big Ten tournament. It's just not going to happen. Or make the NCAA tournament, unless it wins the Big Ten tournament. And you don't want to go into the Big Ten tournament having to win it to have any chance of making the NCAA tournament. That's not where you want to be. So we'll see.
Well, and we may be that ultimately may be what we have to do.
Well, it very well could be. Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. So, but hey, I wanted to bring up. I had a weird experience happen to me this weekend. Well, kind of a neat experience. I was getting ready to go to the store, and I had my wallet and my glasses case in my hand, and I had my sunglasses on because it was sunny out, and I had my regular glasses in the case. Set them on the trunk of my car because I noticed some ice needed to be chipped on my driveway. So I went out and chipped ice for about 2 or 3 minutes, got back in the car, forgot that the wallet and were on the trunk of my car, drove to Hy-Vee, realized I didn't have either one, knew exactly what had happened, so I start driving back, tracing my tracks. You know, I'm going really slow on Muscatine, didn't see any wallet or glasses case. Turn up Willow, go down Willow really slow, didn't see anything. Wrap around Brookside, didn't see anything. Turn right on Courtside, then right onto Arbor. Didn't see anything. I'm like, so then I'm getting ready to pull into my driveway, and I'm like, what is this? Some guy's on a bike with a little buggy thing on the back of it. I'm like, okay, just what I need. More, what's going on? And then I said to myself, no, wait a second. Could this possibly be? And yep, the guy was returning he had been riding his bike, found my wallet and my glasses case on Willow, and was basically writing a note in the drive. When he saw me coming in, he scrambled to get out of the way because I didn't know what was going on. So then he comes out and he gets off his bike and he walks around my car and I could see he's holding. I'm like, oh, thank God. He had both of those things.
Wow.
And he gave them to me, and he was getting ready to write a note and leave them in my mailbox if I didn't happen to have come home when he was there. And I was so appreciative. I got his name. I tweeted out thank you to him, and I got a thank you card. And I'm going to send him a $25 check just for his.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I could send him more, but I really, But his name's Jesse Halter. He's lived in Iowa City. Now he lives in Cedar Rapids. I'm not sure why he was in Iowa City riding a bike, but thank God he was.
Oh, that's great.
And, I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it is.
That he did that.
It really
gives you
nice.
hope and optimism.
Yeah.
I don't know what his views are on anything. I don't care, but he just did that. And a buddy of mine saw it. He goes, well, Pat, you do realize you could have written down all your credit card numbers and he's going to scam you. He was kidding, though. He was kidding. But I just thought that was pretty cool. And I knew right away what I had done. And I'm like, oh, God. Because I would have had to have gotten a new license, canceled all my credit cards, had gotten new glasses.
Yep.
But it just saved me so much grief.
Cool. I can one-up you.
Okay, what do you have?
This was probably 10 years ago. We were on spring break down in Florida on Indian Rocks Beach. My mother and father-in-law had rented a condo there every spring break, okay? So I'm out swimming in the Gulf, come back in, and I had gone swimming with my wallet in my swimming trunks.
What, are you going to tell me a shark returned it?
Almost. So anyway, I'm sitting there saying, oh, my God. My wallet has been sucked out into the ocean, and I am screwed. And
at least you would have known nobody was going to take your credit cards.
Oh, that's true. But about 30 minutes later, a guy came up, and he had seen me wearing a Hawkeye hat, and my wallet had a tiger hawk on it. And he said, I figured this is yours.
Where did he find it?
In the surf.
It was just floating in the surf? Wow. That is lucky.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's a luck of the way the surf was going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so many things had to fall into place.
I mean, that shouldn't.
All right, Captain.
Shouldn't happen.
I think he's going to. Are you going to one up that? Can you one up that? Just make something up. You
Sure.
know, I lost my money and then God dropped it back on my lap.
Well, kind of like yours. I was doing a station remote, and I put the speakers. You put them on the van when you're, when you're doing a remote. You put them on top of the van and everything, and then at the end, I forgot that I put them on top of the van, and I took off, and they flew off and hit a guy's trunk, or not trunk, hood, and he wanted to kill me.
That's a touching story.
How'd you get out of that?
He didn't kill me.
Did you fight him?
I said, "Look, we'll pay for it. What do you want me to
So there was no fist fight or anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a terrible fist fight.
I think
and he kicked me in the knee, and I've had that injury ever since.
So is he paying for the surgery?
Yes.
Is he? Yeah, this is your next to last show. I was talking to Suter.
Next to
We're gonna have to lift our performance.
Last show.
We're gonna have to lift our performance.
We are.
I was
We're gonna
telling him
have
this is like All in the Family without Archie Bunker.
We're going to have to up our game.
No,
This is like
Sanford.
No, this is like
Sanford.
This is like the Branch Davidians without David Koresh.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
How about when
this is like MAGA without Trump in some ways. You're
How
our
about when
Trump.
Grady took over Sanford?
Well, no, never the same. No, this is MAGA without Trump for a month.
Whatever.
Would you agree, Suter?
Sure. Sure.
Or do you like that one or the David Koresh one more? We're the Branch Davidians without David Koresh.
We've had to do this without Captain before.
Not this long.
Not this long.
This is new uncharted territory.
It's mostly going to fall on Jim and Tommy.
Hear that, Hunter? Hunter's ready. I mean, I can see it in his eyes. We don't captain my ass. That's what he's saying. Is that your theme the next month? Colonel Jim. No, that'll be our captain my ass. That's what we're going to need for the next month to get us through. You'll be back in I'm giving you 6 to 7 days where you're back in there.
I can't.
No, you will be. Don't you?
No, I
Suter?
can't.
Well, you'll defy their orders. You'll be back.
Yeah, I will.
Infection.
No, I'm not. No, I won't. No.
Will you be listening?
I don't
home?
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Will he be listening from home?
I don't usually
don't
listen
know.
when I'm not here.
Yes, you do.
No, not to them specific. No, I really did. No, then I'm going to nitpick and crap, and things are going to bother me or whatever.
No. Nitpick?
I'm gonna. No, I don't know that I'll be listening.
You're going to turn it on 3 days after your surgery, and it's going to be like Inagata Levita's playing. What do you think of that, Captain? That'll be Hunter. We're going to be pushing the envelope.
Whatever. Jesus.
New format beginning Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning, we're going to start with Whitebird.
No,
You'll be fine. Like I said, my dad was older than you when he had his, and his was fine.
I was talking to Patrick Eads yesterday, and
Do you have one?
both.
It's amazing how many people have them.
Oh, yeah.
My brother has one.
Yeah, and Jan. Okay, so they gave me a sheet of paper, and it tells me what to do.
Uh-huh.
The shower before, the operation and everything. It tells me everything that I can expect and everything.
Yeah.
So if you're saying if you didn't shower for a week, they wouldn't operate on you?
No.
They're like, whoa, do you smell this guy?
So Jan says, well, you got to read this. They gave me a book,
Yeah.
basically. You got to read this. You got to read this. And I wasn't reading it. I said, they told me everything. You got to read this. So I read it, and I get to the last page. And it tells you all the things that can go wrong.
I was just going to say, you get to sign the euthanasia. Not the euthanasia.
You know what I'm going?
The anesthesia.
Why did you make me read this?
The best part's the anesthesia part, all the stuff that can go wrong. Then you have to sign the thing, right?
Yeah.
I did that for my hernia thing. Some anesthesiologist came in, nice young lady.
Yeah.
Hey, remember, you got to smile. What's this? Well, there's a slight chance, but if something happens, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, great.
They start putting a toe tag on you.
But you have to do that before any surgery. You have to sign.
Yes, I know.
But you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
You know how many? It's like flying.
I'm really not worried. The only thing I'm concerned about is level of pain.
But you'll be fine.
Now, did you find out anything about that ice machine those people are talking about?
I went to CarePro, and all of a sudden they're closed on the weekend, so I'm going today.
You're talking about having the ice in the knee for pain?
Yeah, there's an ice machine.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely help. Just keep it frozen numb. Yeah, no, that will help.
Yeah, so I'm going today to pick up one.
So
Yeah.
So you rent it for a month?
Yeah, whatever.
So tomorrow's show, I assume, is going to be really emotional, won't it?
Jesus Christ.
So who's it? Is it you? Is Tommy in tomorrow?
I don't, honest to God, I've been.
I'm going to call
the
it.
longest I've ever been off the air.
Yeah.
In 60 freaking years.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The
Isn't that
emotion.
ridiculous?
You're going to be able to slice it with a knife tomorrow.
Yeah,
the emotion in
I'll
here.
be able to go home.
I'm going to turn you guys on at 9:45. It's going to just be crying. That's all I'm going to hear.
Well, I'll be a sports report. Me talking about the big victory over Ohio State tonight.
Yeah.
I'm predicting you'll be crying.
Well, that's possible.
That's true if they lose. Oh, I was right. Suter's. Oh, wait, no. Iowa got beat last night. No, I'm not gloom and doom about tonight. I give them they got a chance. I mean, Ohio State's not a great team, and Iowa's so up and down, but they just have been down on the road
We have been so bad on the road.
That's why I don't have much hope.
And that's your concern. I mean, at some point, we're going to play well on the road. We have to.
I would think so. I mean, at some point.
I mean, once.
But they better hurry up because tonight's game, they're halfway through the Big Ten road schedule after tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, there's about a little over a month and a half left of the season. They got to start making a run. I mean, Iowa and Ohio State both have to start stacking wins. That's how you got to start stacking wins, and there's time's running out.
So, well, let's see what our probabilities are. Okay, at Ohio State, we know that's tonight. Not a great team. At Rutgers, not a great team, but tough. Rutgers is a tough place.
And Rutgers is like Iowa, very streaky. Sometimes they look horrible. Sometimes they look incredible.
Then at Maryland.
That's going to be tough. Maryland just won at Indiana yesterday. Maryland's now 6-4, 16-5.
Was Maryland, they win by one yesterday?
They won by one at Indiana yesterday. It'll be interesting to see if Maryland fans start to show up because, man, their attendance for their men and women's game has been horrible.
Isn't it incredible?
To me, this team deserves some attention. They're a pretty good team. They're very athletic. That will not be an easy game, but Maryland also is the kind of team that comes out sometimes and just plays horribly.
They do, inexplicably.
Inexplicably, they'll just be nights where they just don't play. But now they've won, I think, 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6. They're starting to really come together.
And then also you have to travel at the end of February at Illinois and at Northwestern.
Yeah, if they could just get a split on those two, I don't see them with much chance of winning at Illinois. I give them a chance at Northwestern, but not a great chance.
And at Nebraska, we certainly have a chance.
But that's also a game that Nebraska's going to be looking at saying, man, we have a chance to win that one.
So anyway.
I mean, it's just like the women. I mean, we've gone through this. We do this every show now. It's just there's no easy path for either one. It's an uphill climb for both of these teams right now because of the hole they both dug for themselves.
So the good news is 4 of the away games that we have are against teams with losing records.
Just like Minnesota had a losing record and came in here and won.
Yes.
So I'm not. You can't really read into much right now. It's hard. It's hard to say with this team. This team can lose to just about anybody in the Big Ten, and well, I'm not sure if it can. I'm not sure if Iowa could beat Michigan State the way Michigan State's playing right now. Michigan State's playing really good basketball right now.
They sure are.
And Illinois is tough to beat at home, and that's where they have to play Illinois. So we'll see. If they could have just gotten one of those West Coast games.
Well, we weren't very close in either.
No, that trip could turn out to be really costly. If they're one of these bubble teams on the outside looking in, you might look back to that. Oh, and the Minnesota loss, of course, too. Yeah. I mean, that's another one. But Minnesota just beat Oregon. They've won 3 games. Minnesota is playing as well as anybody in the conference right now. They won at home against a really pretty good Oregon team.
They are.
And I noticed more people in the gym, or in the arena, Williams Arena. It had more people in there. And that's an arena. I know a lot of people hate it and old, but when it's rocking, it's rocking. I love it. I love Williams Arena. It's one of my favorite arenas. Have you been in it?
I've been in 2 away arenas. Once was the Knapp Center in Des Moines, and the other was Williams Arena 30 years ago.
It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. And I love the Knapp Center in Des Moines. I think it's a neat arena. I like the McLeod Center at UNI. I think they're both good.
We're going to be going up to see the Iowa-Minnesota women's game, taking a bus trip up there a couple weeks.
I saw that Minnesota women beat Wisconsin pretty handily at home. That's going to be a tough game for Iowa.
Yes, it is.
That's going to be tomorrow. They play Northwestern in the final tune-up before, and then they have a few days off before they play USC, and that's going to be No, I know. I just find Dallas is going to become. I'm going to be a really nice guy and let Dallas cover that game because I know he really wants to. So I'll watch it from home.
Well, the other thing is at least as of a couple days, Kiki Iriafen, their great center, USC center's injured. So will she be back against us? Probably, or maybe.
And how much will it matter?
Oh,
I mean, it'll matter, but they're still a really good team.
They are, but she's terrific.
Oh, no, I know who she is. My guess is, though, they could still find a way to win without her.
Sure.
That's how good they are.
Yeah.
But it definitely gives Iowa a much better chance. I just worry about the Iowa girls pressing so much to try to impress Caitlin and to try to win, to where you just hope that this ceremony doesn't really, in a way, come back to work against them.
Well, and there's half a dozen recruits coming in for that game.
Addie Deal, I saw she tweeted she'll be there. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure to win that game. But all that stuff's going to also motivate the USC players, too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see. And what day is that game again? Is it
Sunday?
It's okay. So the women, they'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they'll have 4 days off before they have to play that game, and I think that will help, especially if they lose to Northwestern, which I don't think they will. Then you almost want to get right back on the court again. But if they can beat Northwestern and then have 4 days to regroup and prepare, hopefully they give USC their best shot. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, the Northwestern women are horrible.
They're terrible. I mean, so's Rutgers, and there's
Rutgers and Purdue, Northwestern are the worst.
Yeah, and they are bad.
And Penn State's bad. Wisconsin's bad.
Yeah, no, I know people don't like to hear this, but Big Ten women's basketball is not very good right now.
No, at the top they are. They're good, but at the bottom they're just
horrible.
miserable.
As bad as I can ever remember them being. And the middle ain't that great either. I mean,
it's not.
So, this is kind of weird the way the Big Ten is right now. Just
Minnesota wasn't figured to do anything this year, and then they lost.
Do they have a new coach?
No.
What year is she in? Because she's doing
third year.
She's doing a hell of a job.
Second or third year, yeah. So new-ish.
Yeah, so she's doing a hell of a job. I mean, she's got some good portal players in there. Because didn't Lindsay?
They lost one of her.
Didn't Lindsay Whalen used to be their coach?
Yes.
And she didn't.
She couldn't get.
She got fired, didn't she?
Yeah.
So this new head coach is doing quite the job. And if that's just another. If Minnesota gets really good in women's basketball again, that'll just make it harder for Iowa.
Yeah. Well, they're good this year, and they even lost one of their best players. Maybe their best player at the start of the year. I think her name Mara Braun.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And she blew out her knee.
I would imagine this Minnesota coach. I know USC and UCLA are dominant, but I would think she'd get some serious consideration for Coach of the Year because USC and UCLA, you knew. Well,
you would think.
You knew they were going to win. So no, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
And the Michigan State coach should get some consideration because they're doing awfully well.
They've maintained a certain level. So that Iowa's loss there doesn't look that bad. But again, Iowa's 3-6 in the conference.
Yes.
They have to go on a run. I mean, when I say run, they have to go on some stretch where they win 4 or 5 games. But I just don't see that happening.
see it.
I don't either. I mean, we've been through it. I don't see it. So we'll see. I mean, you just take it one game at a time, and the Northwestern game tomorrow will be a good chance to heal in some ways and to creep closer to 5. God, to think though they got to win that game just to go 4-6.
Yes,
it's incredible to think that they were 2-6 in the Big Ten just not so long ago.
And then their last 8 games, they play 3 of the best teams in the conference.
Is Ohio State? What are they? Right? Are they still?
Ohio State's still up at the top. They're third at 8-1.
8-1, and they lost to either USC or they lost to USC, didn't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I know Maryland lost at home to USC too. But that girl that you were talking about, the center, she played in that game. I thought she did. The good center for USC.
Yeah, she did.
She played in that. My guess is, from what I've read, I'd be surprised if she didn't play, but because I haven't read that it's anything season-ending and what have you. So
haven't seen
we'll see.
that.
But that would certainly help Iowa, though, if they could catch a break that way. And hey, sometimes you got to be lucky too.
Yes, you do.
So, and I did a story this weekend on the kind of the evolution of the Iowa. I posted it on Saturday. I talked to Don and Chuck Long. They gave me some good stuff, but just about how the Iowa offense is different under Kirk than it was under Hayden. What was interesting, what Chuck said when he got here in '81, you had Hayden and Bill Snyder, and you had a Big Ten conference that was just waiting to evolve. on offense, and all those things happen thanks mostly to Hayden. I mean, Hayden is the one.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of did what Joe Teller did 20 years later. Hayden did that in the early 80s, and Chuck was in the right place at the right time. And back then, Hayden was kind of almost more pass first, run second, whereas Kirk has always been run first, pass second. The quarterback under Kirk is not the superstar high pro. That's just their different philosophies. They both have shown that they can work over the course of time, but Chuck thinks that's part of why the quarterback never really has been twice in Kirk Ferentz's over a quarter century as head coach, the quarterbacks made first team All Big Ten. Think about that, just twice. And only once has somebody made second team All Big Ten, C.J. Beathard in 15. And Chuck says a lot of it is the philosophy that Kirk goes by. Chuck also brought up a good point, though, and we've talked about this. He says it's mystifying why more Iowa quarterbacks haven't gotten better their last year. Because you bring it up.
Well, some of it's been injuries, but not exclusively.
No, I wouldn't. I know injuries were used as Tate's excuse, not by Tate, used as C.J. Beathard's excuse. Yeah. I'm not buying that. I don't. If they were so injured, why'd they play every freaking game? I mean, Beathard was so injured in 16 that he started every game. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I don't buy that. And who was the last? I mean, Nate Stanley was as good as a sophomore as he was as a senior. He was solid, but he didn't get
solid.
The last quarterback to markedly get better under Kirk was maybe Ricky Stanzi.
Yeah.
Chuck finds that mystifying. That's quarterback development.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been hurting. But he thinks Tim Lester was a good hire.
Sure looks like it. I mean, it's early, but
he thinks we don't know about the passing attack yet, but he thinks Lester's pedigree as a quarterback, he thinks that will help. It's obviously a step up from Brian.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
and so he thinks and he likes the fact that Tim adjusted his offense, basically gave up the pass when he knew they didn't have what it took to pass, but they had a good rushing offense, and Tim catered to that. He said a lot of coordinators are too stubborn. They'll, nope, we're going to do it my way. Tim did it the way Iowa needed it done, and Chuck was really impressed with that.
Yep.
So, Chuck wasn't just bashing the football program, but he explained the difference in philosophy, and Don brought up some good points, too. Bill Snyder wasn't going to stay here forever. And like Don said, part of the reason Bill left is because he wanted more say in the offense. I mean, no matter what, it was Hayden's offense.
Yes.
Hayden had final say on everything. Bill Snyder eventually outgrew that. And like Don said in the story, Bill would go on to, as great as Hayden's rebuilding thing here was, Kansas State was more impressive.
I think so.
And so Bill was just ready to move, and that did have an adverse effect. Their quarterbacks weren't as good in the 90s. The other thing, too, though, like defenses adjusted to Iowa by the 90s, too. And Hayden became more of a run-oriented coach near the end of his, but that was partly due
to personnel.
They weren't recruiting as good at quarterbacks. Yeah.
But they had great running backs.
But it was interesting, though, just how it is, though. It's a simple thing. Hayden was more pass first, way more and like Chuck used the word maverick. Hayden was a maverick. He wanted to stand out. He wanted to be different. He was whereas Kirk just believes in a certain philosophy on how football is going to be played, and he's not going to pull too far from that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I appreciated their feedback on it, and then Chuck also said he's taking a wait and see approach with Mark Gronowski, largely because of what happened with Cade McNamara, but he does like his intangibles. He said he's got he's a winner, he's got good pedigree, blah, 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 but he still has to do it at this level because at South Dakota State, he was almost always on the team with the best talent. That's not going to be the case at Iowa. So Chuck's optimistic, but he goes, I'm just going to wait and see. He goes, I think a lot of Iowa fans are that way because we got burned by McNamara.
Well, I think you have to,
everybody just assumed that there was a big assumption that, wow, things are better. McNamara's here. There was a lot of that right after he committed.
There was.
And it just, I think we've all kind of learned you got to wait and see. There are no guarantees with anything.
No. And, Gronowski on paper looks to be a great pickup for Iowa.
So did Cade.
But we don't know.
Cade was a Big Ten champion.
Yeah.
He had he'd started at Michigan. And so we'll see. But no, Chuck does like the fact that they went out and got him, and now it's just a matter of Gronowski. He's just going to have to do it. He's going to have to perform. And Chuck said the surgery's not good. It's not good that he's missing spring, but at least it's not his legs, and labrums can be corrected. So you hope, but not being able to work together in spring that's a problem.
Yeah,
it's another obstacle they're going to have to overcome in a short period of time over the summer. And you just wish they wouldn't have to do that because the offense is already, you know what I mean? It's already struggling enough in passing and what have you to where you have him miss spring ball. That's just another challenge to overcome.
It is. Now, you hope that the fact that Gronowski's already played 4 years, that he'll be able to adapt quicker than a freshman
I'm not worried about him adapting to like the plays and whatever. It's just a matter of executing and carrying them out. And if he can get enough receivers open and what have you, I mean, it's like I said, it's going to be interesting to see because the competition's going to be tough. I mean, his second game, he's at Iowa State. That ain't going to be easy.
No, it's never easy.
No, and that's going to be a tough game. I mean, their other 2 games are what, Massachusetts and
Albany.
Yeah.
We lose that one.
Don't underestimate Albany.
Yeah. That's where Fran used to live there, Siena.
Yeah.
You think Albany will have Fran do the pregame speech?
Yeah.
Fran's all Hawkeye now, but no, those are not 2.
No.
Those are 2.
Those are ridiculously easy games.
Yeah, even you're saying that.
Yeah.
You travel the path of least, but yeah, I'm not. Those are not games that I'm going to be looking forward to because they still take the amount of time a day to cover them and everything, and they're just going to be. Massachusetts is terrible.
Yes, they are.
I mean, and just
I hear they hit the portal hard. They had $17 million to spend, and they've got a murderer's row coming in here.
who UMass?
Yeah.
You actually heard that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard that.
I completely made that up.
All right. But yeah, no, those are 2 games. They've got 2 guaranteed wins next year. But the Iowa State game is going to be tough because Beck's going to be, Rocco Beck's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country next year, at least going in on paper.
He looked great.
But they are going to be missing some key pieces. The receivers are going to be gone. I mean, they'll have their running backs back. They'll have their tight ends back.
They always seem to have good wide receivers.
They do always seem to have good wide receivers. Yeah, I was watching the Houston Texans last week, and that Xavier, what's the guy's name? The receiver they just had, is it Xavier Henderson?
I can't
He's
remember.
now starts for the Texans, and he was playing at Iowa State. I mean, his name's escaping me
That
right
could
now.
be right.
His
Henderson
first name's Xavier, I believe. I just can't remember his last name, but he was another good receiver. And this Higgins guy, he looks like an NFL receiver waiting to happen, doesn't he?
Yeah, they always have good ones.
Oh, and hey, the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again. What do you think of that?
Got home last night. I was going to watch some of the game. I said, hey, I'm going to watch the last part of the Chiefs game, and I did. The last 14 seconds.
And they're trying to become the first team to three-peat. It's not going to be easy.
29.
Philadelphia's playing real well right now, but man, if Mahomes wins this will be 4 Super Bowls for him in 7 years as a starter.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I mean, and the Brady worshippers are starting to get a little worried.
So the Brady never won 3 in a row.
No,
Isn't that
nobody in
something?
the NFL's won 3 in a row.
That's amazing.
No, it's incredible. Now, I'm not convinced they're going to do it, but still, just to be where he is right now, it's incredible. No, he doesn't do it alone. He's got great players, but just like Tom Brady had great players.
Got Taylor.
Taylor gets to go to the
Tom
Super
Brady.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Tom Brady doesn't have
Pretty
Taylor.
cool.
No. Travis Kelce has Taylor. They were together afterwards, arm in arm.
Yeah.
And more people were yelling, "Hey, Taylor!" And Kelce was like an afterthought. It just, "Hi, Taylor!" And she's waving to all her fans. I think she started singing "Message in a Bottle" right then. Or shake. Doesn't she do a song "Shake It Up" or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
Yeah, the Cars did that. No, that was their album, wasn't it?
Different song.
Wasn't that Cars album called "Shake It Up"?
Yeah.
Well, they had a song called that.
Yeah, it was on that album.
Yeah.
Their concerts were just as boring.
Well, Benjamin Orr didn't have a lot of personality on him though.
Neither did
Rick Ocasek either.
No,
He was odd looking.
They would go on stage and sound just like the record
Sure.
and everything, but they didn't do anything but go on stage.
Wasn't he odd looking, Rick Ocasek?
His head was a little
yeah.
squished.
He was just odd looking.
You know,
He had a
and
couple great solo albums though.
I always felt that I wanted to see CCR in concert.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I watched a video of a thing they did, a concert they taped in England, and they, of course, sounded exactly like the records. But the problem is everything kind of sounded alike, and it was all good.
Yeah.
But it all kind of sounded alike, and there was zero stage presence. So I said, no, I don't want to see them live.
A lot of groups are like that when they, you have thoughts of individual performances or songs, and then when you see them, it all blends together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Yes was like that.
Well, I will always say
Yes.
when I see Led Zeppelin tapes, their live stuff never sounds as good as the albums. And
it's hard to get good live.
I never saw Led
sound.
Zeppelin in concert, but there's times where I see their live stuff and I'm like,
No,
it's kind of boring.
hard. It's hard to.
It's
do.
hard to be Led Zeppelin in person. What they do on the albums, and it's just and John Paul Jones. I mean, I don't know, but what do you want everyone to be like the Sex Pistols or Jim? Want them to come out there and pass out and urinate?
G.G. Allen.
G.G. Allen crap on themselves.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to be something besides just to have a stage presence? Does it take soiling?
Yes, it does.
I think everyone has their own line that they draw.
Does it take drugs and debauchery? Is
Somebody like Swift or Bruno Mars or something like that, there's a hell of a stage presence.
But I've seen clips of Taylor Swift
yeah.
and I'm like,
well, that's you.
Well, no, she's just singing at a really high pitched voice, on a stage, just walking up and down, marching. That's kind of.
You got within 5 feet of her and she blew you a kiss, you'd be down on the ground.
I don't think I would be. I don't. Like I said, I've told you before. I wouldn't. I mean, like if you were fight, would you be hyperventilating?
Who the?
Nobody.
What about that Rita Shaw?
No.
If Rita Shaw came up to you and blew you a kiss.
Well, that'd be incredible since she's been dead for 30-some years.
Well, I'll ask again, who is Rita Shaw?
She is
an actress from the.
And I ask this every time you guys bring it up because no idea who she
was.
is.
Eleanor Poultice and also one of the three convicts.
She's just not the most beautiful woman in the world.
Was she an actress?
Yes.
Yes.
She made a lot. She was in Hollywood for a long time.
Oh yeah.
She was.
What's she known for?
Being not that good looking. I mean,
you guys are no help whatsoever. You keep talking about
you just
her.
got to just Google Eleanor Poultice, and you'll get all you need to know about Rita Shaw.
Yeah.
She was Barney's voice teacher on Andy Griffith. But the three convicts, lady convicts, remember them? They hijacked Barney and Floyd.
Yeah, do you remember that episode?
Where the three lady convicts hijacked Barney and Floyd?
You vaguely keep in mind, I haven't seen it for 50 years.
Okay, well,
but
she was one of them.
Vaguely.
She was the lead one.
Yeah.
She was the one that told them to go out to get water, and then that's where they got caught.
Yeah.
But she wasn't one of the Hey Dolls.
No, that was one of the fun girls, but she was, that girl, Jane Jameson, was in, she was one of the three convicts at large, too. Versatile actress.
Yeah.
Versatile. I think it was. Yeah.
She was a convict, and then she was,
and she was a fun girl. Yeah.
Very versatile.
Very fun girl. Yeah. There you go.
Wow. Okay, let's take a break.
Let's do it. We'll be right back.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
for a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319 319-330-9185 today.
Hi, this is Jill Sterner with Sterner Taxidermy in Lone Tree. It's hunting season again, and I'm inviting all of you hunters to follow us on our Facebook page. You can view Dirk's award-winning artistry, his workmanship that he completes with each individual piece. We can be reached at 319-330-1774. Again, 319-330-1774.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
On an athletic team, you need team players, good athletes, superior equipment, and the best coaches available. In real estate, you need to have a good title and settlement team at your disposal. Hi, this is Steve Anderson. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, you need quality title and settlement services. Consider the team at Hawkeye Title. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential. Develop a strong work ethic and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. And special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location. And no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net that or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
People are different. People want to be treated differently. We don't take you through a process.
We're going to cater the process to them, to buy the vehicle the way they want to buy it.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams of Deary Brothers Ford talk about what here for you means to them.
When it's right for you, from a time to a budget, it's not about when we're ready to do it, it's about when you're ready to do it.
No worries, no rush at all.
That's one of the things that I would say here for you also means.
That's the goal. That is the goal.
Find out what it means to you at Deary Ford in Iowa City.
Hi, this is Bill Leixenring from the Oxyoke Inn. The Oxyoke Inn is now serving daily. Our Oxyoke family is ready to serve you with the same quality of food and service you've come to trust since 1940. Now serving lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily with 4 portion sizes. Sundays featuring our famous brunch buffet. You can also order curbside carry-out and pies to go online and take the comforting taste of the Oxyoke home to your family's table. Visit oxyokeinn.com for hours, menus, reservations, carry-out, specials, and gift cards. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon. Oxyoke Inn, in the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Increasing clouds for today, a little breezy with highs in the mid-40s. For tonight, mostly cloudy, then clearing overnight. Cooler lows around 20 to the low 20s. And even warmer for tomorrow, but breezy again, highs to the upper 40s. It stays dry and mild right on through the rest of the week. That's your forecast in the mighty 1630 KCJJ. It's 24 right now.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
The landfill will be closing today at 11.
Is it windy AF?
Yeah, and it's supposed to gust up to 35.
And it's supposed to get in the 40s?
Sorry for bringing this up, but they're trying to deport indigenous people off the reservation.
Jesus. A bunch of idiots.
Where are they going to send them? This is their country.
This is their country. I don't, anyway.
Iowa just got a commitment from Colin Witters, offensive lineman from Iowa City West. Heard really good things about him. And they got a commitment yesterday from an offensive lineman from Minnesota named Owen Linder in their 26th class. So, I mean, recruiting never stops.
And Colin Winters, 6'4", 285, so he's already a good-sized dude.
Well, yeah, but there's not many high school commitments at offensive line that aren't 6'4", 285.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, he's just standard. That's basically standard.
Do you remember anybody when you went to high school that was built like that? I don't.
Oh, my God, no.
Well, I don't know about it, but I went to high school with, like, George Davis, who was a 3-year starter here. As in high school, he was probably 6 foot 230, playing running back and linebacker.
Okay. Well, you went.
And then our starting center on the basketball team's Caitlin's uncle. He was 6'9", 270.
I know, but in the 50s and
no, I mean, we've got bodies have evolved.
I can't remember anybody.
I mean, when my dad played at Dowling, I see some of the old programs that had the starting lineups. You'd see starting left guard 5'9", 170. Then you'd see starting running back, my dad, 5'11", 215. My dad was 40, 50 pounds heavier than a lot of the people blocking for him back in the 40s. That's what made my dad unique. He was big and fast.
When my dad played basketball for Michigan, he was 5'8".
Well, yeah, but that was way back before
But
blacks
I mean,
played.
it's just amazing, though, that how
Your
bigger
dad probably
people-
also never played against a black guy in college either. Back when did he play? What years?
30,
Yeah.
38.
I mean, that was mostly just the
30.
Caucasian invasion during
No,
your dad's days.
absolutely. It was mostly.
Caucasian invasion.
Yeah. And that's why I always
He
say,
played with Mike Wallace
when
from-
people say Babe Ruth's the greatest player ever, no way I could say that. He never played against minorities. I still say Willie Mays is the greatest player ever, followed by Hank Aaron. Number 2 would be my
Well,
2.
Babe Ruth was the subject of the worst motion picture ever.
Oh boy!
The one with John Goodman.
No, that
No.
was
That was bad enough.
Gone with the Wind compared to
I never saw
the early one.
William Bendix.
I couldn't make it through the John Good. It was just ridiculous.
the 39 or 49. I don't
Oh
remember.
my God! What a horrible!
It was
ass
ridiculous,
movie.
and it was. There was nothing true about it.
And
Other
why
than-
would you have to
other
lie
than
about?
He was a great.
And why would you have to lie
baseball
about
player.
Babe Ruth? His life was entertaining enough from the reality.
Oh,
of it.
they took away all the drinking and womanizing, and
why?
He was a choir boy in this
that
movie.
was just stupid. You'd
Well,
rather.
but that was Hollywood did a lot
Yeah.
of sanitizing.
Oh, yeah, they bleached it. I mean,
Yeah, they did.
It was, and then he's in the hospital, okay, and his wife's sitting on the other side of the room, and he's in the hospital in a bed, and there's no equipment attached to him whatsoever. He's just in a
I've
bed.
seen that in a lot.
He was the babe.
Yeah,
That was in every episode of Cannon.
I know it. I just don't understand that.
Yeah.
Why, you can't rent equipment or make stuff that looks like equipment.
Well, maybe they just didn't have a good continuity person.
I don't know. That movie.
We got to shoot this quick.
I watched that movie as a kid, and even then I thought, this is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah.
But no, it made the John Goodman one look like
And I couldn't make it through that. I mean, that was
unbelievably good
ridiculous.
movie.
Yeah.
John Goodman is Babe Ruth.
Was Roseanne in it?
Yeah, she was his.
The
She was his fungo.
Yeah. No.
Well, he was doing. Wasn't he doing Roseanne when that movie came out?
I think so.
Didn't that come out in like the
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he was doing the
late
movie.
80s, early 90s?
You mean the TV show?
He was doing the Roseanne show.
Yeah. Well, you said doing Roseanne.
Well,
I don't think that ever
I was
happened.
going to say, no, wait a
If
second.
you can
What?
think beyond a 5-year-old, yes, you know what I was saying. But he was still doing. I believe he was still doing the show when he did that movie. But it was terrible.
I think you're right, but yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. No, they really haven't done a movie to do him
But just
justice.
know that you've seen the crown jewel of Babe Ruth movies.
Why haven't they done a real?
Just say, why haven't they done a really good movie on Willie Mays?
Yeah.
Or Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron would be the one. I mean, that would be a fascinating story about what he had to deal with pursuing the. But people aren't gonna want to see that now, because if you acknowledge any type of racism now, you're woke and a commie. So if the Hank Aaron movie would be greeted by half the woke communism, I'm not going to watch this. Don't you think it would be?
No,
because a lot of it would be race.
I think people
racism.
will look. Yeah, but I think just because of the subject matter, people would overlook that.
Yeah, you got more faith than I do. I think there'd be a lot of people that wouldn't give a two craps about it.
Yeah, well, I'd watch it.
Well, I would too.
But, for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, Hank Aaron's one of my favorite player-athletes of all time, because I was barely old enough to remember him doing the home run chase. I mean, I was 9
Roberto
years.
Clemente would make a great movie. I think they've had some treatments on him.
They have, and yet what he did to help the people. I mean, he was on a humanitarian mission when his plane crashed. He was- and the best right fielder ever, strongest arm I've ever seen. That guy had a freaking cannon.
And man, did he hit the ball
I
hard.
remember when I tweeted my outfield would be Aaron in left, Mays in center, and Clemente in right. I got a lot of people who agreed, but I got a lot of people who did not like that I left out DiMaggio and Mantle and Ruth and Al Kaline and Stan Musial.
I'd put Babe as your DH then.
Yeah, he wouldn't be in that outfield.
No, probably not.
I mean, Roberto Clemente was the greatest right fielder ever. And Willie Mays was the greatest center fielder and greatest baseball player ever, in my opinion. And then Hank was Hank.
I saw a movie, and it was a TV movie on Mantle.
Great player. I mean, he'd be my backup center. He'd be my backup. Hey, Mickey, get in there. You play the last 3 innings for
Well,
Willie.
and he
Or DiMaggio.
Was a part of, I mean, they did it in conjunction with him, and he was pretty honest about himself.
Oh, toward the end when he was kind of doing
Yeah.
his, man, I wished I would have lived a better life. He was very honest.
Yeah.
I thought he was a little too hard on himself.
But
okay?
he was honest in that.
But I thought he
movie,
was too hard. He drank too much and was sort of, that's the worst thing you did. I mean, he wasn't that bad of a person, I didn't think.
Oh, no.
I thought he was way too hard on
He was
himself.
very charitable.
Yeah.
And
If I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of
Well, that
myself.
was the funny thing, though. Is he was talking about how if he would have knew, man, I needed to take better care of myself, or I wouldn't have. Didn't he live until almost in his 80s?
Oh, I don't think so.
Or how old was he when he died?
I think Mickey was in his 60s.
Oh, was he only in his 60s?
I think
Okay,
so.
for some reason I thought he was older. I don't remember when he died.
He had osteomyelitis.
What's that?
It's a bone thing.
No, that's not caused by his lifestyle, is it?
No.
I mean, his body took a beating, too, from the way he played.
He had
but no, for some reason I thought he lived a little older than 60s.
I don't think so.
But I do remember, though, he did a lot of interviews at the
63.
end. Wow, you're right. Yeah,
Died
that's-
in 1995.
Of what? Or was it an assortment of things?
His liver was severely damaged by cirrhosis and hepatitis C, and he had inoperable liver cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we assume that was all just from drinking, or some of it?
I don't think all, but
some of it's just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Some of it, but cirrhosis is drinking.
Yeah. It sounds like he drank a ton. I mean, the way he described it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his drink of choice. Didn't he used to do beer ads?
Yeah.
That's what I remember. Mickey Mantle. He used to do a ton of beer ads. I thought.
He drank a lot of whiskey too, though.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? I'm not doubting you did. Where'd you see that?
I've read biographies. No, he was a heavy drinker, and not just beer.
Well, and Roger Maris died at 51.
But I don't think was a big time
of cancer.
No, it was cancer.
Yeah, I mean, some.
God, I love those two. I really did when I was a kid. That's why I went out for baseball.
Yeah, I'm too young to remember either one of them.
I got to see him play.
Yeah.
I mean, Mickey, by the time I was old enough, Mickey was done playing. I barely remember. I remember Willie Mays playing the 73 season with the Mets, and everyone saying, man, he should retire, and then he did. I mean, 73, I think Willie was born in, 31? So that would have been 42. Yeah, that's all I remember of Willie Mays, though. Barely could move in center field, bow-legged, because I was too young to remember the 50s.
We had, they let us take transistor radios to listen to the World Series when the Yankees were in it. And everybody brought their little transistor radios. And this really rich kid, and he used to tell you how rich he was. He brings a gigantic shortwave radio with antennas.
To have a good sound?
Yeah. We're all looking at our little handheld transistor radios. He's got this gigantic.
Speaking of transistor radios, we watched that new Beatles documentary, Beatles 64.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And the Beatles, when they visited America the first time, they would be listening to their songs on the transistor radio, and had a real cool little transistor radio, a Pepsi transistor radio.
Yeah. I got a, God, I think it's a Shell transistor radio. Looks like a Shell gas pump, but it's a transistor
that's cool.
radio.
I can't remember. I remember the transistor radio we had was red, but I can't remember the brand. Maybe did Silvertone have radios?
Yeah, very good radios.
Yeah, I think it was a Silvertone.
Yeah, put out by Ward's. No, put out by Sears. Yeah, they were really good radios. Yeah.
You're listening to the olden days.
You ever have a transistor radio?
I can't remember if I did or not. I have
Did
nothing.
you just-
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation. Just listening. Just listening to you and Suter.
Reminiscing.
We go dancing in the dark, walking in the park.
Oh, God.
guarantee you've played that. You slopped over that for years. You know you have.
No.
Do you play Little River Band?
No.
Friday night it was late. I was.
Yeah, you know.
Friday night it was late. I was like,
yeah, no.
I was dreaming of the night.
Never
God, you've never played LRB? That surprises me.
For 20-some
Well,
years.
they're top. They're.
Was it a progressive rock?
Well, I'm talking about now. I mean, they're 80s and they're top 40.
They're not. That's not 80s.
Some of it is.
Well, their
definitely-
hits were mostly 70s.
And they're definitely top 40. I mean, God.
Well, they're top 40.
They're the
but,
epitome of top 40.
yeah, but there's.
I mean, Reminiscent was 70s. Lonesome Loser was 70s.
But you play. I've heard you play a lot of 70s top 40. If it's something, well, Rod
if
Stewart, Maggie May,
was
that's a 70
if
top.
it was popular.
Well, I'm
in
just
the
saying,
80s
if
too,
it's 70s top 40 and you like it, you'll play it. It's not like it all comes down to you, and that's fine. But that crap's no different than the Rod Stewart 70s stuff. It's all top 40.
Well, we don't play a lot of. We don't play.
You play Maggie May all the time.
Yeah, but not. Do you think I'm sexy?
But that was the
or
80s, wasn't it?
That crap. Yeah, but we're a rock.
Yeah, that's a bad song.
Oh, it's a terrible song.
We're a rock.
No, what I'm saying is you will play some 70s top 40 if it fits if it pleases you. So it's not
there's
just all
a lot
or
of
nothing.
70s top 40 that I don't play that pleases me because it didn't cross over into the 80s.
Well, Little River Band crossed over, unfortunately, into the 90s, and that stuff was popular. I mean,
they were here. They did a concert in Coralville.
I mean, Little River Band was very popular in the 80s.
they were.
Yeah.
It was just never my thing.
Time for a cool change.
Yeah, no, I knew some people that loved the Little River Band. Yeah. Did you ever like them? Did you ever play any of their songs?
I never really thought of them. Did you like them?
I mean, they were really big for a while.
Yeah.
Late 70s, early 80s, they were.
Yeah.
They were.
Oh no, they were huge.
They were huge. They made a lot of money. Yeah. I mean, they're not still playing now, are they?
Yes.
Are they really? God.
So I thought Cool Change would have been a good name for a band.
When the top 40 station Kick in the Quad Cities changed over to Cool and Oldies, they played that song.
Cool Change?
Yeah, for 24 hours.
Jesus. I don't understand the purpose of that.
Gets people's attention. All of a sudden, you've got a station.
What's going on?
Yeah, what is going on? Well, when we signed off 1560 and went on 1630, we played Time of Your Life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was that Green Day?
Yeah, Green Day.
I thought that was great.
4 hours.
I like that song.
So people just sat and listened to it over and over?
I doubt it, but they knew something was happening.
I listened to it a lot because I like that song.
I like that song. Yeah. That's about the only Green Day song I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you any other song of theirs.
Oh, you'd recognize a couple.
Oh, I probably would.
What is it? Boulevard of Broken Dreams?
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple others.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And one other one that I would recognize because I'm not a Green Day fan, but I did like that one. I did like that song you were talking about. Back to the Hawks.
Back to the Hawks.
But yeah, they got 2 offensive linemen in the 26 class. And, anytime they get offensive linemen, I don't question it. They're this kid from West High had some other, I think Kansas State, Iowa State. He had some decent offers. So, I mean, always good to keep a kid home.
Yeah.
And that's what they were able to do.
I have to get this.
Okay. So, what do they got? Five in the 2026 class. They have a quarterback, that Cash Herrera, which I love his name.
Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. You follow it closer than I do.
Yeah,
I do remember Cash Herrera. And, yeah, they got these 2 linemen.
Is there a running back?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I could look it up on my phone, but it's too hard to do it on my phone. But yeah, I think it is around 5. I mean, like I said, I don't cover recruiting for us much. I do some. I'll write something short on this when I get home. But hell, now the news is out. It's not even old news. I mean, the moment these kids commit and announce it on Twitter, the news is out.
Oh, for sure.
So that's what this kid, he announced it on X or Twitter or whatever you want to talk about it. And so I can see why an lineman would want to come to, especially the way the offensive line played this last year. And so, no, it's always good when you can keep guys at home, especially when your rival Iowa State wants them.
Yeah.
I saw Dallas's brother Darian just got offered by Iowa State Saturday. He was at Iowa State's junior day and not Iowa's. So I found that kind of interesting. But Iowa State offered him as a defensive back, and congratulations to him. And I think his offer list is going to continue to grow. He had a really good junior season. Darian Jones out of Omaha. I'm not sure what high school it is. And then remember Dallas's other brother, Donovan. By the end of this past year, he was playing a ton for Nebraska as a true freshman safety. So good bloodlines in Dallas's family.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, to be doing that as a true freshman. So, and then
it's just so bizarre. College football has changed. So, I mean, and college basketball has changed so much, too.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention Declan Doyle. My nephew just reminded me. I was stunned when I saw that the Chicago Bears had hired him as their 28-year-old offensive coordinator, and because I had lost track of Declan Doyle. I remember when he was at Iowa, and he was a graduate assistant at Iowa, and this is amazing how quickly he has risen. But I think it's fair to say he had a good head start, being the son of. He got his foot in the door right away at Iowa. He was right away named a grad assistant at Iowa at 16.
Is that Chris's kid?
Chris's kid, but now he's 28. I guess he had a really good showing when he was working for, what's his name, the former coach of the Saints who's now at Denver. Is it Sean McVay? No, it's not.
No.
His name's escaping me now. God, I can't.
I don't. I couldn't tell you.
I can't believe who his mind.
I don't
but
follow.
He built up a good reputation, and now the Bears hired Ben Johnson as their head coach. He's an offensive coordinator, but still, for Declan Doyle to be getting this job at 28 years old, that's impressive.
He must be
I don't care if he had nepotism helping him get his foot in the door. It didn't help him lift all the way to this. He did something on his own, too. Did he get a head start that a lot of kids probably didn't get? Yes, so he did that.
Well, he must have a heck of an offensive mind.
To do 12 years, to do all this in 12 years is pretty impressive. So, yeah, he's the Bears' 28-year-old offensive coordinator. And now it's driving me crazy that I can't remember the head coach.
How 12 years?
2016 is when he joined the Iowa staff as a grad. Well, no, 9 years. 2016 is when he joined the Iowa staff as a graduate assistant. Now, he got that job because who his dad was.
Oh, sure.
But he kept that job and rose up the ranks because of who he is. So, you can say nepotism, but nepotism only goes so far.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to produce.
Hello.
Hello, it's Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, that's right, Sean Payton. I said Sean McVay.
Yeah, Sean Payton.
Were you at the gymnastics meet yesterday, Karen?
Yes, I was.
Okay, because we were there too. And what was your event?
Well, they didn't have my name down, so when I came in there, he said, if we find a spot for you, we'll call, otherwise just go sit down. So I just sat down and enjoyed it just sitting there.
Mm-hmm. So we were looking for you.
With the next two, there's going to be a women's game and a men's game, so I won't go to those, but the last two, I can go and work.
Did you get a tenderloin?
No, I got a cone. Ann got one of those big tubs of popcorn that, we could be eating on that for a week.
I've seen those.
I bet you they gave away a lot of food because a lot of kids were there, and they were all eating.
And there are an incredible amount of young girls. I was amazed.
Oh, lots of them. I felt like I was out in the playground.
Did she finish the popcorn?
No. And she had plenty of help from her husband, believe me. I thought it was cool, Karen, that they had a bar there, a real low bar that the kids could walk on, a low balance beam.
Oh, and they all. I think the thing that kind of killed the Iowa women is 3 of them fell off the beam.
Yeah, that did. That killed any chance we had of winning the meet. I thought Minnesota was really good.
Oh, they were good, and they had some good beam routines.
And their Florex was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I know very little about gymnastics, but I would hear that staying on the beam would probably help, right?
Yes, very much.
All I know about gymnastics.
You lose 5/10 when you fall off.
Yeah, and it was...
it's amazing what those gymnasts can do.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
I'd say it's probably the most impressive thing in college.
Some of those things they do in the floor exercise is just, oh, my goodness, they go flying way up in the air. And
yeah, what's the deal with the little extra mat that they have when they're completing their tumbling runs? And then there's another mat?
They put a mat over there. Some of them, they put a mat over there because some of those girls, they need that extra to help them stay up.
Okay, I figured that's what it was, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Is it
Yeah,
partly
some of them, they
safety?
need that extra to make them stay up. Otherwise, they slide.
Couldn't it be
off.
safety too?
Probably.
But anyway, Captain, you have a good luck with your surgery.
Well, thank you. I just got the time and everything, so
We'll put a little prayer in for you.
thank you.
What time's it start?
I get there at 9. At
Same time Hawk Fanatic starts.
Yeah. And then they
I'll be
do
getting
the-
here at the same time you'll be getting to the hospital.
I get there at 9, and then surgery will be around 11:30.
Oh, brother!
And then
you have to wait around for.
And then 12:30, I should come out of it with excruciating pain.
Hey, give me the radio. I need the radio. I want to hear KCJJ.
So is it you don't stay in the hospital for a day or anything?
No. Not unless
Well, they used to
not
make
unless
you
it doesn't
stay
go
overnight
good.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're staying for multiple days.
If it doesn't go good. It's like Rodney Dangerfield when he was getting operated on. He said, they said, how long are you going to be in? He says, well, if everything goes good, 2 weeks. If it doesn't, 90 minutes.
Anyway, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the call, Karen.
Bye.
Yeah, we were looking for car. There was a good crowd too. I'll bet there were a couple thousand people there.
And did Iowa win?
No, we had trouble on the balance beam, and
Yeah, when sports like that, if they lose, I usually don't post that stuff because I don't think fans want to read a lot about teams like that losing. Do you? If they win upsets, I don't post every gymnastic.
Fair enough.
But if they pull off upsets and stuff, then I do that. But I found like when I kept posting like the women's volleyball team losing, after a certain point, nobody's
no. Then
it's almost like you're rubbing it in.
At a certain point, it becomes they lost again. If they even do that,
And
they don't read the article.
I get if you're a newspaper, maybe you have to do or something. But there was times where I'm like, I don't need to put the volleyball team's 8th loss in a row in. It just seems like you're kicking them when you're down, and it's not going to move any traffic either. And one thing I've learned over time is when you post stories, that costs money. That takes up megabytes and all that stuff. But no. So how many teams were in the thing yesterday?
Just 2. It was a
duel.
duel.
It was dual. Okay.
Yeah, and one of Iowa's best gymnasts wasn't competing.
The Adeline
or the Henderson, I think is her last name.
Okay.
And
that's good that there was a good crowd there.
No, it was. I was actually amazed.
I'm curious to see what the crowd's going to be like tonight at this Ohio State game. I've seen mixed crowds there.
I haven't seen much great crowds there.
I haven't seen great crowds, and that's a huge, beautiful facility. I remember going there the year it opened. It was really nice. I've been doing this long enough to remember when they opened up the Breslin Center. All these arenas that opened up in like the 90s are now actually starting to almost get dated a little bit.
Yeah, they are.
But the Value City Arena in Columbus, it's really nice. It's a really nice arena. Everything Ohio State has facility-wise is nice.
Yeah.
But their basketball team has not been very good for a while.
No, they haven't.
They've been in a downward cycle for a while, especially for a team. Thad Matta had it. Remember with Mike Conley and Greg Oden, but you realize that was 14. That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That was like 2006. That's how long ago. No, this is a very winnable game for Iowa tonight if they avoid falling into their usual.
Just
road
don't think
trap.
they're gonna though.
No, I don't because they've given me no faith that they can do it on the road.
No.
And
it'd be a big,
Ohio State
big
does
plus
seem
if
to
they
be
could.
figuring things out. To win at Purdue says something. That means, but what's so weird, they're so inconsistent. They snapped a 3-game losing streak by winning at Purdue. That shows you how inconsistent they are. And both these teams need this game badly if they want to stay in any pursuit of an NCAA tournament.
I would feel better if it were at home.
And if Iowa, and if Iowa goes back-to-back years without making the NCAA double tournament, it's not gonna go over well.
No.
Do I think Fran should be fired? No, but it's not going to go over well, and they got to figure out something with this disconnect with fans. But I don't know what you can. I don't think there's any other solution other than winning 2/3 of your games, and they haven't shown that they can do that. If the basketball team right now was 7-2 or 6-2 instead of 3-5 in the Big Ten, the arena would be a lot closer to full.
Oh, of course.
It's not like it's it's just. it just takes so much for the arena to be full when the men are playing. Time of the game, opponent, and Iowa's success. Those three factors all have to fit in. And right now, rarely does more than one of those factors ever fit in.
And the weather
Weather's a factor. But fans would be willing to overlook all that stuff if they were, competing for the conference title, which they're not.
Well, and for the women, like for Caitlin's ceremony, that
it's
could
going to be packed.
It could be minus 30 degrees and to a 20-mile-per-hour wind in that place.
But it doesn't sound like it's going to be. It sounds like the weather's good for the rest of this week, doesn't it? At least for January?
No, it looks good. We're going to have some rain on Friday.
I mean, I heard you mentioning the weather. Is it going to stay in the 30s and 40s all week?
Yeah, mostly.
Then we're into February. Although, like we said, February could be some of the coldest days I remember in my life have been in February.
But it's a short month.
It is. And then I don't care what you say. March can be bad, but March is everything starts to change in March.
You're coming out the other end.
The days are a lot longer. I mean, March can fool you. Hell, we've had some bad snow in April. Mm-hmm. I remember we had a snow day back in. We got hit with, I think it was 1972. I would have been in we had a massive snow. We didn't go for like 2 days. And I remember we had pictures of my brother and I. We built all these little tunnels, snow tunnels, because it was so deep. No, but it wasn't that cold.
It was in.
Was it 72?
Yeah, it was 72 because Jan was doing news on the weekends at KLEU, and we got snowed in there.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I remember pictures in our family album. It'll say April of 72, and there's this picture of me and the Basset Hound Fred and my brother, and we're all out digging. Well, the Basset Hound, of course, wasn't digging the snow. She was just out there because we were out there. Yeah. And I'll never forget that.
The digging would have gone a lot faster if she'd helped.
Well, it was fun, though, with a Basset Hound to watch her scoot through our tunnels. Because her ears would rub on the ground, and when she'd go up steps to go to bed, she'd get tummy burns on her because her tummy would drag against the carpeted steps, and she'd get her tummy burned. Because she used to love to sleep in bed with me when I was a little kid. And then my mom got too grossed out by it, and she wouldn't let her do it. Because we used to have to let her lift her legs up, the Basset Hound, because she couldn't jump into a bed. Okay. So we'd lift her back legs up, and she would literally just take up the whole bed. And my mom said, you're 7 years, 8 years old, you're not sleeping well because of this freaking dog. We're not going to let it sleep in the bed anymore.
Well, that's mean.
It was mean. But the Basset Hound did keep me awake. She snored. I mean, she did hog the bed. She was a big Basset Hound. She was big. Got her at a dorm at Drake. The students she basically was a stray, and the students at Goodwin Kirk started feeding her, and she started hanging out in their dorm room, and they talked my mom into taking her home to me, and we ended up having her for 11 years.
Was her name Angela?
Fred.
Angela Bassett?
Nope, it was Fred. They named her Fred because back then Goodwin Kirk was an all-male dorm, even though she was a girl, and we just kept her as Fred.
That's cool.
Basset Hounds are interesting dogs. They're stubborn. They can be stubborn, but no, she was a great dog. I used to sit her up on her. She'd sit up on her butt, like this, and I'd run around the house, and she wouldn't stop standing up until I told her not to. This was when I was like 8 years old. I'd do circles around the house, and that Basset Hound would be sitting there on her back because this is kind of fun we used to have with her. And she used to sleep we had a four-way intersection right by our, not busy streets by any means, but she would literally sleep in the middle of the intersection, and cars knew it, and Jim Zabel used to drive around her. Hell, cops used to drive around her because they just knew who she was. And back then, Tom, you remember, it wasn't, dogs roaming around was different back then than now. I'm not saying it was good. I'm not saying it was the right thing, but dogs.
Oh, they roamed.
Fred roamed the neighborhood. The neighbors
Absolutely.
loved her. I'll never forget the lawyer down the street called and said, "Can you come and get your dog? I'm trying to take a crap and it's in the bathroom with me."
You.
Because there was a family down there, the Wards, that loved Fred. They'd feed her so she'd go down there. But the old grumpy husband, lawyer, didn't really like her that much and didn't want her in the bathroom. When he said he was just taking a dump one day, and all of a sudden this Basset Hound just comes walking through his bed. It's not even my dog. I always thought that was funny. Fred. My dad just, "Hey, Fred, go tell the neighbors hi." My dad didn't care if she was imposing on other people.
Jesus. Well, did you have to leave early?
I talked myself. It's not going to matter if I get it up. It's too late anyway. Whatever initial traffic I would have had from putting that. Plus, I could have posted it 2 minutes after he committed, but I'd be like one of 8 sites that are. So I'm just going to post it when I get home when it won't drive any traffic because it's already old news. So no, we'll leave it. We were going to do till 10:30 today anyway, right?
We were going to go till
your surgery?
Till noon?
Till my surgery.
Till your surgery? We're going to go right from this show to your surgery. So do Do you have to like fast at all? I mean, for at least 8 hours the night before, right?
Now I got a piece of paper that says I can have Diet Coke, and she just told me I couldn't have Diet Coke.
Well, then I would say don't have Diet Coke.
For that long? From midnight till till I go one the
You
next.
can't go 12 hours without Diet Coke?
I don't know. This will be
Well, you're going to have to. You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Well, when do you have to stop eating? 6 o'clock the night before? Is that about?
I don't remember. I think after my supper, after midnight.
Because I remember I mistakenly ate before my last physical last year because they didn't tell me, and I went in there and they're like, "When's the last time you ate?" I'm like, "Well, we can't take your blood because it's got to be at least 8 hours." So now I have my yearly physical on the February 18th, so I'll just make sure I don't eat anything but no, it'll be. So how long did they say the surgery? Is only going to take a couple hours?
No, it's going to take 40 to 50 minutes.
Isn't that incredible?
It is incredible.
That's what they said anyway. I mean, and my knee hurts now, and I can't take. Usually, I've been taking Tylenol, and I've been chasing it with Advil.
Yeah.
And that kind of helps, but I can't take it. I haven't been able to take Advil or anything like that for a week, just Tylenol. And my knee is killing me. So, I'm used to the pain.
So you can't take ibuprofen?
I'm not like.
And aspirin's kind of.
No.
So is this arthritis in your knee? Is that what you have?
That's what wrecked it. Yeah.
Okay. Because like my brother and dad's were from an injury that just caused their knee.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody it's a sports injury.
I mean, my dad had huge scars on his knee from when he got operated on in 45. A little different repairing all the ligaments back in 45 as opposed to now.
Yeah,
the moment he tore all his ligaments, he was done. His football career was over. Yeah, there was nothing they could do. He did wrestle after that. He was able to wrestle.
They said the scar isn't going to be.
No, you won't. No, you won't have anything.
Yeah. As I say, my mother-in-law, the first knee thing she did was brutal. They cut through the muscle, and the rehab was just excruciating. I mean, she was in tears.
Technology has changed since.
Well, and technique has changed.
Yes, that's what I mean. Technology and technique.
Yes, so now they don't cut through the muscle; they just move it. Yeah.
So how was Ann? What I mean,
Ann's was that way too.
Yeah.
No, Ann did fine. Yeah. I mean, it was painful, but every day got a little bit better. Especially at the 2-week mark, I think that was just a huge. Then it really started to feel pretty good.
Yeah. And now she can walk up steps and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No pain whatsoever, and she does not click.
She dance? Can she dance?
Oh, wow.
And goes to dance class all the time.
I can stay till surgery. One of my coworkers posted the thing. Either Dallas or Rob. Thank you, whoever did it. I'll have to. So now
No, Ann does dance class, and she does tap dance as well.
I'll be able to tap after this?
If you take the chorus. Yes, you will. Because you always kind of wanted to, didn't you?
I always wanted to
be a tap dancer?
Did. I always wanted to tap dance.
Well,
that's one thing I cannot see you doing.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't.
I could tap dance.
I know,
Why
but
can't I tap dance?
It just doesn't seem to be your thing.
Well, you're silly.
I mean, do you have natural rhythm?
No.
Okay, then I think tap will be difficult.
And you spend 90% of your time sitting down.
Well, I'm not tapping sitting down.
I don't see you. I don't see you standing up very much. I think tap dancing.
That's my knee. Well, I'll be standing up more with my new.
So once you come back, you're going to start doing your show standing from a standing position.
Sure.
Steve's going to get one of those work treadmills.
Yeah, that would be great.
You
just turn into an exercise fanatic.
Yeah, that's me, Mr.
Lose 50
Fitness.
pounds.
No more diet. You're just drinking
Gatorade,
health juice,
beet juice.
You're putting beets into blenders and drinking that.
What's the F's with the beets?
No, beets are just so nasty.
Terrible. My dad used to like them. My dad loved them.
Yeah, Jan loves pickled beets.
He loved them.
What? And what's that crap they're pushing on TV? The beets that you get at.
You mean the headphones beets?
No,
I got those.
No.
The other thing I've never understood is my dad loves sweet potatoes with marshmallows and brown sugar.
Well, Jan loves sweet potatoes with brown sugar.
My dad used to love that stuff, and I never tried it.
Makes me want to boke.
Sweet potatoes
thinking
not.
about.
I've never tried a sweet potato.
Oh, it's not bad.
Do you like them?
No, and they're grainy and no.
And the sweet potato. Have you ever tried sweet potato fries?
Yes, and I didn't like them.
I didn't like them either. That's the only thing I've tried. I don't understand why. I mean, why ruin French fries by making them sweet?
Well, people like sweet.
They're
things.
not bad. I don't prefer them, but they're not bad.
Yeah, I've just never been a big sweet potato fan. Some people love them.
Yeah.
But most of them like them with the marshmallows and brown sugar on them.
Jan likes going to Hamburg and getting sweet potato pancake.
Ann likes sweet potatoes okay. Now, there is a difference between sweet potatoes and yams, and I'm not entirely sure.
And
are they just different plants?
But the similarity is that they both suck. You like yams?
No.
No, I don't like any of that stuff.
Different.
You know what I like is pizza. That's what I'm going to go home and have for lunch. Leftover pizza.
Oh, that sounds good.
You like leftover pizza?
Sure do.
Sometimes I like it better cold than I do warming it up in the oven.
No.
You know, there's times where I like it better
I eat it cold.
Yeah,
I'll
probably
reheat.
warm this up in the oven, but I'll eat at least one cold.
Because if you reheat it in microwave, it's nasty.
Yeah. Oh, I don't never do the microwave. I do either the toaster oven or the oven. No, the microwave just makes it gooey.
I don't like it. Yams have a rough bark-like skin and a starchier, drier flesh.
Boy, that makes me want to eat them, doesn't it?
Compared to the smoother skinned, sweeter sweet potato.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, you guys was talking about Jan liking the pickled beets. There's a real easy way to make those things, and it was I learned it from my grandmother, who was born in 1899.
Wow.
And what's crazy about knowing my grandma, she took care of her grandparents when she was 50, and when I was up to 7 years old, her grandparents were born before the Civil War.
Isn't that
so
incredible?
As a little kid, I have talked to people that were born before the Civil War.
That is incredible.
But anyway, how she made these pickled beets is she would boil them in kind of a sugary water, and then before she canned them, she'd pour the boiling water into clean jars, and then about the last third, she'd pour just cold vinegar in on top of them, and then seal the jars, turn them upside down, and you didn't have to refrigerate them. After a few days, man, those things were so awesome, and I've never seen anybody else make them like that, but they taste just like the ones you get in the store, or even better. But they're real easy to make that way.
Wow, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Just thought I'd let you know.
I'm not going to eat them, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, worth trying. They are really good.
No, they're really not,
Anyway.
but thank you.
Let you go.
I'm with Suter on this one.
If I were to try beets again, I would try those, because those do sound kind of good, except I've had beets, and they're not very good.
Isn't there beets that come out of a can where it literally comes out like one big lump of it almost looks like Play-Doh? And I remember there is a canned beets.
Cranberries are like that. You can get the jellied cranberries
I don't
like that.
I don't like cranberries.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. No, I don't like cranberries either.
Hello.
Does anyone have a recipe for oatmeal raisin cookies?
He wanted the oat.
Was that just a reference to grandmothers making oatmeal raisin cookies? I guess.
He asked for the recipe for oatmeal and raisin cookies. I'm guessing.
What are you looking at me for? What?
I'm guessing.
You always look at me when we get these kind of calls.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't. I thought you used to cut him off.
Yeah, well, he's changed.
He's been kind of funny lately.
Yeah, he's changed his material.
Oh, I it was so long I can't remember what his previous material was.
Yeah, well, I'll just leave it there.
But now I did not find that funny at all.
No, it was not funny.
Well, but the oatmeal raisin cookies aren't very good either. So
the ones that I got in my brother-in-law's holiday package were incredible. And I don't even like oatmeal or raisins, but these cookies were really. I mean, you guys got? Did you try any?
I
of them?
had one. Yeah, no, they're okay.
For oatmeal raisin cookies, they were good.
They're not my favorite cookies.
Mine
Let
either,
me
but
say
a lot of people love it.
No, but they were pretty good. It's your favorite cookie?
My chocolate chip.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip.
Chips Ahoy.
Yeah, those are all right. But hell, you know who's got the Subway double chocolate chip cookie? Have you ever had that one? The dark chocolate. Oh, those are really good. Those are good.
Amy's had that.
Dark chocolate.
I don't normally like dark, but this isn't dark chocolate. These are it's a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
But the cake is also chocolate. Yeah. They're pretty good. Yeah. Amy, what?
Amy has had that double chocolate.
No, they're good.
Cookie before.
They've got a chocolate caramel, salted caramel chocolate.
Yeah, I don't like
cookie
salt. Don't like salt and chocolate mixed together. That's never worked for me.
Arby's, they're good cookies.
Now I have been interested, and I haven't done it, but I drive by Wendy's every day, and they have a salted caramel frosty.
I've seen that. I saw that. I'm like, that sounds absolutely horrid.
See, and I think that sounds delicious.
Yeah, that would not work for it. I don't like salt and ice cream.
See,
there is salt in ice cream.
I know, but I don't like it. I don't pretzel and salt. That doesn't mix for me.
Yeah. Would you rather have the beets?
No, I would rather have not any of that.
You had to have one or the other.
I'd probably pick a pretzel over a beet, and I'm not I've never been a big pretzel fan.
I love pretzels.
I'm just dry. I just never.
Yeah,
really
I don't get it.
I've never really understood.
Well, I buy generally one thing in the health food aisle. They've got these pretzels called splits, and they are just delicious.
I've seen those.
Damn, they're good.
I like pretzels. I mean, I like the thin, that's in here that's been soaked in butter.
See, those are my. I mean, yes, soaked in butter, wonderful, but pretzel sticks I don't like as a rule. And you wouldn't think the shape of the pretzel would matter, but it does.
So is this call about the Hawks or something else?
Could be another beet recipe.
This is John Balmer. I'm not going to talk about food.
Okay.
All right.
No, I just got back from the hospital taking my wife through physical therapy, but I wanted to call in and wish Steve the best with his surgery. I've been there, done that. You'll be as bad a patient as I am afterwards, I know. My wife said I was bad, and I was, moaning and groaning, and it took me about probably 4 weeks overall. But
Jesus, can you give me something positive?
Yeah, thanks for the call, bud.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I got to be honest, but you do the physical therapy at home. That's the key. After you go to, your, and that's the key. If you don't, you're not going to. Well, it's not going to work.
What they showed me seems pretty simple. It's 3 times a day, and you do this crap, and then I go 3 times a week to physical therapy.
Yeah, there you go.
So do you go to Steindler?
Yeah, no. There's a division of Steindler. It's on Scott.
Well, it's but now I don't know how you do with meds, but they loaded me up with meds, and they said take the meds before you do physical therapy because that'll help with the pain, and they were right. So I did that. And
OxyContin? Did you take OxyContin?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It didn't bother me. Some people I know it's not good. They have trouble with it. Not me. I needed it.
How about methadone? You take methadone?
I don't know what the heck with it. I suppose. When you leave the hospital, they don't keep you overnight, Steve. They're going to kick you out.
No, I want to be. No, I'm leaving.
You're leaving?
Yeah, I'm out of there.
They got a new drug out now that they're probably going to give it called Oxymoron. You're going to like that.
Now, are you calling us oxymorons because we're dinosaurs?
No. I am getting out of there.
Well, they'll load you up before you go, guys. Steve, because that's what they did to me. And I said, we'll make you feel good.
Did you have an ice machine?
No, I had something else that was. I had it in the freezer. My wife took care of that. So no ice machine. No.
So now, when was this that you got in the 50s, 60s?
Let's see. When was that?
A hacksaw.
5 or 6 years ago.
They use a hacksaw.
yeah, that's good. No, my surgeon from Steindler was outstanding, and I'm happy I did it, Steve, because I couldn't sleep at night.
Yeah, I can't sleep at night either.
Yeah, it just you'll know, and that's when you know I got to have something done.
Yeah.
So
no, I can't Sleep at night.
But well, best of luck to you, and I know that the team will cover here for you.
Yeah,
as they always do. So
whatever happens, happens.
Hey, great win for the women out in Seattle.
Yeah.
I hope things are kind of back on track. But, God, you see what UCLA and USC women are doing to the Big Ten. It's just, God, they're just killing it.
Well, especially UCLA. They're averaging 19-point victory, 19.5 victories. USC is a little more beatable, especially with Kiki Iriafen out.
Oh, she's out. Good. Hope
She
out
may
when we
be
play
back
her
by the
Sunday.
time we play her, but she's been out.
Well, I'm looking forward to that Sunday game with Caitlin's retirement. That place is just going to be rocking, and I just hope for the best for the young women. Hope the men can win at Ohio State tonight. So,
well, we hope so.
It's a big game tonight at Ohio State. They need that game.
It sure is. They really do.
Well, gentlemen, it's always nice to hear your pleasant voices, and
right.
I will say, in all seriousness, I'm glad we have a local station, because anymore, it's few and far between.
Well, you're right about that, but we.
Well, we'll find out if we have a local station at 1:00 Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll watch Lansing's obituary.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Hey, I was real pleased to see about KWWL, too. God, I'm glad to see people rose up in defiance of that one.
Yeah. What happened? I'm not aware.
Those BS.
They were going to fire all the weathercasters throughout the chain, over 100. And then the advertisers and
they said, we're done.
Yeah.
They were just going to use the Weather Channel people.
Yeah, but they did get rid of like the 6 o'clock, the morning news on the weekends and the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they kept the weather people because, geez, can you imagine just trying to rely on the Weather Channel for God's sake? That's a joke, So.
Amen, brother.
Okay, hey gentlemen, have a great rest of the week.
All right, you too. Go
Good
Hawks.
luck.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
But you look at what we're saying; it would be a joke. The newspaper's already at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Press Citizen.
Yeah.
I mean, now that they're not. When do they? February is when they stop delivering, right?
17th.
And they start mailing out. So, am I led to believe that you're gonna on a Thursday you may get last Friday's paper?
I don't know if it's that late. Is it?
I've had mail take from a mile. A friend that lives a mile from me. I've had mail sometimes take 7 days to get to him here in town. I'm sure the Press Citizen will set something else different, but I mean they're going to always be behind on the news, aren't they?
Well, yeah,
you would think so.
It's no, not really. If you follow them digitally, because the way I understand what they're going to do is it's going to be mostly features.
So it's going to be more like Grit.
Yeah, remember
Yes.
Grit?
So it's really not.
My in-laws got Grit.
It's really not going to be a newspaper anymore. In a lot of ways.
No, not really.
No.
Although it's been far from a normal newspaper for years.
No, it's sad. It really is sad. It's sad. Radio's sad that we're the.
It's just amazing how things are changing. I mean, I mentioned Hawk Fanatic. I mean, we're the only website that covers Iowa that's free and that doesn't use Google Ads. That's it. Nobody else can make that claim. I'm not saying that's the answer to everything, but I know a lot of people that have reached out and said, man, we really do appreciate that you provide this. Well, we do, but it doesn't come for free. I mean, we couldn't do it without, I mean, the stuff doesn't just happen. I think sometimes people think there's always going to be sports.
Oh, no, without the local advertising, this station would have been gone a long time ago.
Well, so would Hawk Fanatic.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a lot of people saying you need to look into programmatic. Eventually I probably will look into it because I've been told that you can do local and programmatic at the same time.
What is programmatic?
Same Google. It's just another word for it. There's 3 or 4 different names for it. And down the road, that's something I may want to experiment with if the money's too good to pass up. But I don't want to do anything with Google that will sacrifice local ads. That's where I am on this. And I've been having people tell me I need to soften on that a little bit. So we'll see. I'm willing to try to do everything, but I still think there's a market for free content if you can get enough people to support it.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can say is, we'll give you I mean, we don't have a message board to attract. Message boards help attract a lot of clicks to. We don't have that. So when I give somebody this is how many page views we had. Like, they know that that's page views just reading content, not going to message boards. So that can help us in some way. So, but yeah, no, this stuff. It's sad to see what has happened in like 10 years. It's amazing how much. Think of where we may be 10 years from now. Oh, we all may be dead, but what I'm saying is, think about what the media.
He looks at me.
Well, you're the oldest. I mean, 10 years from now, I'll be Suter. I'll be your age, basically. Yeah. What year were you born?
You're gonna miss me.
52.
You're 11 years old.
Pat.
Will I miss you? Well, I may die before you.
Well, you were born the same year my brother Stevie was.
Yeah.
You're
and
49?
I think John Balmer as well, now that we mention it.
49?
Balmer says that. He says 49.
So
I've heard.
Is he a citizen? Do we know?
I'm going to be watching him walk, and then ice comes and takes him away off the sidewalk.
Jesus. How in the hell? Seriously, how can you go to a reservation? How in the hell do you go to a reservation and start asking people for their IDs? What the hell?
Stupid.
So where did that happen?
New Mexico.
They should be asking them for their IDs.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, that does not seem right. But like I said, I'm trying to ignore so much of what's going on right now.
Yeah,
it does no good to get too wrapped up in it because then it just makes you upset. And I just would rather just
stupid.
A lot of it is.
So do we need to bring this train wreck to a screeching halt, or
this will be my last Hawk Fanatic
until
who knows?
A month?
Yeah,
really?
Who knows?
Think of all the stories you'll have a month from now.
Oh God,
they'll be the same stories.
He'll be oh my God.
Be talking about the hot nurses that you have at rehab.
Yeah.
No matter what we bring up, he's going to one-up us once he's back. He's going to have a year's worth of one-ups.
Jesus.
You are. It's going to be your biggest claim to fame after. No matter what Suter and I say, yeah.
What if nothing happens? What if I just sit there and do my rehab and watch TV?
Well, that's what it's going to be.
That's what it'll be. Yeah, I mean.
Well, then what am I going to come back with?
You'll find a way.
What stories am I going to... Hey, you should have seen McCoy. He really tore this witness apart.
No, you'll go back to the old usual. Mom with raccoons and stuff. We'll get them. We'll get them, don't you think?
Well, yeah.
Mom with raccoons.
Well, that's been one of your go-tos.
Well, she really liked those raccoons.
I get it. Every once in a while, you'll see videos on X of families raising raccoons.
Yeah.
They showed this one, and usually they're all huggy, and they showed this one raccoon that was just a POS. Every time they tried to, he'd bite them, and why would you want something like that? I'm assuming it's got its rabies shots, but every time it didn't get its way, it would just lash out and attack people. Would you want that?
He's a dick.
I mean, he was a mean raccoon. And he did. He just lashed out anytime.
Well, there's a raccoon though that's hugging a puppy. And,
oh no, you see a ton of that. This was the angry
on
raccoon.
Facebook.
You got this angry raccoon. He's sleeping on a bed at night. He's got blankets on him. He wakes up angry.
See, that's the difference. On Facebook, the raccoons are nice. You go to X, and
they're mean.
They're POSs.
I just never
pretty much.
I've just never. I don't think I could ever raise a raccoon. I don't think there'd ever be that moment of getting to know each other. I don't see how do you break that gate down? Where do you domesticate a raccoon? I guess if you rescue it when it's dying as a baby or something.
Well, if it's a baby and it grows up with
But your mom never. Those raccoons weren't in the sitting on their couch watching TV.
No, those raccoons came to her every freaking night at 5 to eat.
Okay, but then they left. They didn't.
Yeah.
Did they have cocktails?
Honest to God, that one, if I wouldn't have seen it, I wouldn't have believed her.
Well,
where the raccoon hands the baby to her.
Well, there was a funny thing on X the other day. They showed a person feeding a fox some leftover food, and then the next morning, this lady wakes up, and she goes out to her, and there's literally 15 to 20 foxes because the other one had brought and she's like, oh God. And she fed them all, and they all ate their food, and then they just sat there. And I heard the husband say, honey, we got a problem. Because, they weren't being mean or anything. They wanted food. It was wild. Because I saw a fox out here one time. Mm-hmm. You just don't see them very often. Have you seen them out here? I've seen one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen a fox out there one time.
Seen him crossing the field.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
But you just don't see him very
You like
often.
that song by Sweet?
Fox on the Run? That's who it is, Sweet?
Yeah.
Nah, not really.
And there's an old bluegrass song called Fox on the Run.
Yeah.
It's not the same song. It's
Didn't Neil Diamond just turn 81 or something yet? Maybe that's why I was getting his age mixed up with. I think it was it Diamond that turned 81?
Yeah.
Somebody turned 81 yesterday. In
It
music.
was Diamond.
It was Neil Diamond. Okay.
But I didn't understand. I put a picture of myself when I was at the campus station here. It just popped up on my Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And so I reposted it of me at the campus station.
Uh-huh.
And then Dave Bader puts Neil Diamond is 81 today as a comment. What's that got to do with it?
What happened again? I'm sorry, I had a text message.
No, that's funny.
What'd you say?
Well, I put a picture of myself when I was the manager of the campus station here when I went to school.
Okay,
it was
so late 60s?
1968 or something, 67. And so I put that picture up, that article that was, I don't know where it was, Gazette or something. And then Dave Bader under it comments, Neil Diamond is 81 today. And I'm going, well, that's fine, but what has it got to do with the article?
probably because you were spinning Neil Diamond songs back in the.
I really was.
And then John Belushi would have been. Yeah. I think Belushi was born the same year. He was 49, isn't that? I think Belushi would have. It was his birthday a few days ago too, and he was. Because weren't you born in 49?
Yeah.
So you're right about the same age as Belushi would have been had he not tragically died. What 43 years ago now? 82.
Yeah.
They showed one of the clips of the cheeseburger. I didn't think those things got old after a while.
Yeah, they weren't very funny.
I just never really found those things that funny.
No.
I didn't find his samurai thing that very funny
No.
either. You know,
I
some of his
either.
skits didn't. As much as I loved him, some of his skits didn't work for me.
My best years of Saturday Night Live was with Carvey.
Well, I think Phil Hartman was probably the
Dennis
worst.
Carvey and Phil Hartman. That was great.
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
Well, plus Belushi didn't really stay committed to Saturday Night. I mean, he was more
No.
interested in his own. Because didn't Animal House come out in '78?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he got more interested in that stuff. But I thought Phil Hartman was the most versatile of every.
He was
of
great.
anyone.
Yeah. No.
I mean, he could do
Yeah.
anything. I mean, he was hilarious. His Sinatras, I mean, those things just make me laugh every time.
100%.
Episcopal sucked.
Yeah, he
did a good Sinatra,
but Hartman was better.
Yeah.
Piscopo did do a pretty good Sinatra.
Yeah.
But I always thought Dan Aykroyd.
Sit down, Sinai.
I always thought Dan Aykroyd was underrated too.
Yeah.
I think he sometimes got overshadowed by Belushi, but I think at times he was funnier than Belushi.
Dan Aykroyd got Donna Dixon, and they're still married.
Are they really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But he did his Fred Garvin. That is classic. That's as good as any character on Saturday Night Live. Fred Garvin, male prostitute. Wouldn't you agree?
See, I don't remember that.
I remember it, but
the scene where he's with Garrett Morris and they're going out to Bettendorf to get some whores.
Yeah. No, it was okay. I like anything that Carvey does, including up to today.
I love his Biden.
When he does Biden.
You've seen that, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
His Biden is hilarious.
Oh, no, I watch Saturday Night Live.
Did you watch it this
religiously.
last week?
And the funny thing is Biden thinks
Was
he's
there
funny.
a new one?
Yeah.
Biden thinks he's funny. He doesn't mind him making fun of him.
No, Biden said.
No, there was a new one.
Doesn't Trump want to shut
we
down?
haven't seen it yet.
Doesn't he want to shut down Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
I know he's threatening to shut down Rachel Maddow, but I don't think that can happen.
Yeah,
that's just going to make her more popular.
Shutting down anybody. We're going to shut this down.
And bring Molly Suter into this sad studio.
We're at a crossroads right now, aren't we? We're at a crossroads.
Why is it a sad studio?
The countdown to Captain Steve
Jesus, come on.
going UTK.
Nobody's going to,
What do you think that doctor who's doing your surgery, what do you think he's doing he or she's doing right now?
Drinking.
What do you think where do you think
grabbing some OxyContin pills and knocking them back?
Where do you think that knee's being stored right now, that fake artificial?
I don't know that you were here. I looked up knee replacements.
We've already had this
Amazon.
from $120 to $21,000.
Yeah.
And I said that I think you're getting the $120 one that is being peed on by a dog right now. It's sitting in some open box in the hallway over at the hospital.
Why
let's give him this one.
I told that to my doctor. I said, hey, look, I showed him. I said, look, I could get a knee replacement. He goes, wow, you can.
It's made out of plastic.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, well, no, you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right,
but it's business as usual Wednesday, right?
Business as usual Wednesday.
Yeah, like I said, we are going to have we may be having Gabe Arnold. I'm not sure who. We're going to have a wrestler on. I'm not sure exactly who.
Okay,
yet,
well, we'll find out.
I'll let you know.
All right, hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It's free. Molly Suter is next.